they do it. Okay. I'm going to follow the last presentation, which gave you just a glimpse of the kind of formative research we did and show how we used that information to develop a program to delay marriage in the same region. With funding from the NIH and the Fogarty International Center, we began our program in 2006 with ethnographic research, exploratory ethnographic research, and a reproductive and demographic health survey. The results were worrisome. I'll give you a second to absorb them. These were in the 9 communities, the 3 first communities we started working with. After the survey and the ethnographic research, we went back to the communities to share our findings. One thing that the ethnographic work showed was that while parents were predisposed to girl-child marriage, given the situation, given the context and the dysfunction of the schools, they said in theory that if schools were more adequate, that they would be very open to that alternative. So this is one of the meetings, one of the first meetings we had. The women met separately first, then the men, and then together. This mother right here said, I sent my first daughter to primary school. I made the sacrifice. I didn't use her for hawking during the day. She didn't go to the market. She graduates from primary school. She can't read a single word. I'm not going to send my second or third daughters. The father's response was related. They said, if they're not learning anything, why should I send my daughter to school and pay the registration fees? It's $5 a term, 3 terms a year. What's really hard for them is it's $5 in one lump sum. The other fees, the chalk fees, the broom fees, the board fees, they all come in little increments, but it was the registration fees that were the greatest deterrent. The girls themselves said, when we asked, what do you want from your lives? They said, I want to read and write. Those are the tools. I want to read and write, become somebody, and help my family and community. And these were our marching orders, trying to figure out how to match what we had learned and their response to our programmatic response. So we started with safe space clubs, mentored girls clubs. Our conceptual godmother was Judith Bruce at the Population Council. In many senses, this is a council program, at least conceptually, at the beginning. And we covered, helped with the registration fees. A safe space club is, of course, a safe space, both that the girls can talk and feel that they can speak confidentially, but also that parents see the space as being safe for the girls. It also has a mentor. The girls, the first hour, they learn to read and write. They learn practical skills for marriage because virtually all of them, whatever they want to do, they want to marry. Here they're making ORS. And most important for me is, as opposed to the girls that would look down when their father spoke to them, by the end of the year, in the beginning of the clubs, the girls do look down when called on. By the end of the year, girls look, and me as a old white men coming in, it's a little intimidating. They look me straight in the eyes. And that's, for me, one of the main indicators. The results have been dramatic. 82% of our first cohort is now getting ready to marry. I mean, in my nightmares, they're getting ready to graduate from senior secondary. The other cohorts are moving along in that direction. Estimates of delayed age of marriage is 2.5 years. And I think most important is those girls who started out at 12 years old are now becoming mentors themselves, being trained to be mentors themselves. In this Islamic society, they'll be called malama by the girls, teachers, a sign of respect. And so these girls will have learned to read and write, they will have become somebody, and they'll be helping their families and community. Thank you.